Oh, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I was trying to get everything set up. So I'm taking a quick peek here, see if you can see me. All right, says we're live. So I hope you're having a great President's Day. Kent and I enjoyed having a day at home, which was nice. But you know, they always go too fast. I think that's my fault. I put too many to-do things on my list, and then we try to get too much done. So I want to share with you one of the last items that I haven't shared yet with Celebration. We are 1 week away. A week from today is your last chance to get the first Celebration items of 2022. So I'm going to switch the camera over so we can start. All right, there we go. There's my host code for this month. And I got this idea from Tammy White, and she created these fun cards that I'm going to show you today. So let me show you. Here's what it's going to be like. And you flip it open like that. Isn't that fun? Now, it is a larger card, so you have to make your own envelope, but I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So we are going to use the Daffodil Afternoon paper, which I think is the last Celebration item. Well, there might be one other. Yeah, the pineapple one. I haven't shown anything with that. All right, I'm noticing my stand for my camera is a little wonky here, so hang on a second. All right, so let's get started. Hoping I will be able to see your comments tonight. It's always kind of a challenge. Let's see if anything's showing up. Okay, all right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of paper, and it is 9 inches by 6 inches. Hang on, I gotta get over here. There we go. All right, so it's 6 by 9, and I scored it at 3 and 6. So the 9 inches makes it nice and easy because you just do 3 and 6. Then so I'll show you. I put it in here like this, and I scored at 6 and I scored at 3. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the outside flap and you're going to go in a diagonal line from this edge to this point. Then keep that same angle and you're going to go over and do the same thing on this one. Okay, make sure your 2 diagonals are going the same direction. If you don't do that, you're going to have a problem because you need that so that you can make the card work right. All right. Then I've got a piece of Very Vanilla because the Daffodil paper uses Very Vanilla. It's 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that's going to sit right here in the middle. And then I've got 3 pieces of Designer Series paper that are the same size as this Very Vanilla, 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now, to me, the trickiest part is right here, and it's not hard. You just need to pay attention. So I'm going to lay this up here because I need to make sure that my Daffodil paper, I want it to go on this section here. So I need to make sure I cut my diagonal the correct way. So I have found it's a good idea to just lay it on here. And because this score went this way, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to lay it in here. And then use my paper cutter and cut that. And that's going to make this piece work. And it's also going to go on that piece over there. Now, to save some time, I've cut some other pieces here. So let me show you. I've gotten, this daffodil paper is really pretty. I'm not a big daffodil person, but I really think this is really pretty paper. And of course, there's some other flowers mixed in, but these are going to go like that. Oh, you know what I did. Let's see here if I can, there we go. Something wasn't right. There we go. All right. Those go there. So then I'm just going to take my glue and glue them down. Had a really fun weekend. Cindy hosted her class. We tried to do it last year and it ended up being on one of those weekends. Remember last year when we had that terrible, terrible cold weather and we had snow and ice and everything. So we decided to do it this last Saturday. And then of course we had all that snow and rain and everything on Thursday. But fortunately, enough of it melted off. We were able to have her party. And it was fun. She invited a few ladies that had stamped. And then there were a few that hadn't stamped before. And I always say, I love all of my people that attend class, but it's always so fun to watch newbies find the fun of stamps, ink, and paper. All right, so all of these pieces are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and they're cut at that diagonal. And I cut them ahead of time because sometimes when I get to talking, I'm not paying as close attention to my work. And I was worried I'd cut them the wrong way. So I cut them ahead of time. Okay, so see, that's going to go like that. Isn't that fun? But then I thought it'd be neat to have paper here. So I pulled out another one of the patterns and we're going to put it on the back side there. So hopefully some of you maybe have already tried this. When I started doing a little research online, I did find it on a few different places. So maybe you've already watched this, but I thought this was really fun. All right, so there we go. So see how those line up like that? And then what I did was I took a piece of very vanilla paper and I used the seasonal labels dies and I cut out the larger one here. These two kind of go together. I cut out the larger one. So I stamped the Hello Friend, which is from this Friendly Hello set. This is the one that's free with 100. You get the stamp set and there's designer series paper. And I'm going to take a quick, after I get this one done and show you some that I'm doing with that paper too. I had too much fun watching movies and chatting and spending time with Kent and didn't do enough stamping today. So I didn't get my other sample made. All right. Now, when I have a card that's going to be pulled open and close a lot, I like to use tear tape because that way I feel like it stays nice and attached, so I don't have to worry about it falling off. And again, you've got to be careful because you only want to attach one side. Okay, so like there. So see, it's going to open like that. And then I found this fun greeting. I think it's in the light. I think it's called Light Lines. Not seeing it here. I'm still unpacking from this class on Saturday, and so I'm guessing that's where that is. All right, I am going to use some Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stamp this greeting that I just think is really fun. I used it on the inside a couple weeks ago. I showed you how to do the bear, where we turned him around with the Stamparatus. And I thought this greeting was cute with it. All right. Still got it crooked. For some reason, I'm having a terrible time with this one. I must have mounted the label on here just a little off center. There we go. That's better. I hate to break it to you, but you're stuck with me for friends forever. I just think that's fun. And then I'm going to add some flowers. Let me start over. I do not have the daffodil set this designer series paper goes with. And so I'm just having to use some other flowers. This is from that Hello. And you guys are going to yell at me because I'm not practicing what I preach. I need to have my mat underneath me. Here we go. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Very simple, but I think it works really well on the inside. It gives you some space to write a little message to your friend. All right, and that is going to go right here on the inside. Okay. And there we go. So there's your fun twist card. Twisted Gatefold is what it's called. And I would love to see what you guys do with this. I think with all the different designer series papers that we have, there's so many different fun options. So let me show you. Here's another one I did. Pretty much the same idea. This one, I didn't put anything back here. I kind of liked the yellow. So I left that. And then I did one in pink. Let me find it. And same thing, but just in the pinks. So I think it just is a really fun little twist. But I do, admit that there is the challenge of making the envelope. So let me show you how to do that. So you're going to take a piece of designer series paper, and this paper is 11 by 12. And the 11 side is going to be the top of your envelope if you want it like this way, tall. Okay. And we're going to score the 11-inch side at 1 1/4 and 8 7/8. And then we're going to turn it on the 12 side and do it at 3 1/2 and 9 1/4. Now, I already messed up when I was making an envelope today. You have to remember that our designer series paper is not very thin. It is thinner than our cardstock. Okay, so if you push hard, you are going to cut it. Okay, so this is my 11-inch side. I'm going to score it at 1 1/4. I'm going to push down, but not real hard. And then I'm going to score it at 8 7/8. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to score it at 3 1/2 and 9 1/4. All right. And then I'm going to gently score that. All right. So you could use your bone folder, but you really don't have to with designer series paper, just because it's not as thick as our cardstock. Now, to make it to where it folds nicely, so this is going to be my bottom, this is my top, and my sides are going to fold in. I want to open up the 4 corners. And when I do that, I want to kind of cut at an angle. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to angle down to that point right there. This is something I learned from Diana Ball. She has taught me how to make several boxes and different things. And she always says if you do that angle, it just makes your corners and everything fit nicer. And it also helps, I think, with the look. Out. This one, I didn't angle quite far enough here. Actually, when you're making boxes, the angle makes a huge difference. So we are getting very excited at this house because we should, at least we're planning to go to Denver, and we are going to get to see our grandson. We've only gotten to see him once in person since he was born last July, and we are super excited to go out there. So my mom's going to get to go with us, and we're going to leave hopefully Friday morning and get to spend a couple days with them, and then we'll be back. So next Monday night, as I told the ladies on Saturday, sorry, but my grandson and family are going to be what I'm doing on Monday night instead of stamping with you guys. So you can see what I'm doing. When you do a score line, you need to decide where you're going to cut. And I found for this to fold, you almost want to go so that you're cutting inside the score line, so the score line's completely gone. So this lays down a little bit nicer. See, I get to talking about my grandson, and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, so these are your sides. This is your bottom. I'm going to grab my tear tape and glue these down. I like the wider one. When you do this envelope, I'm sure you could mail it. If you do that, you're probably going to need to pay a little extra in postage. I would give yourself a little space there. You can kind of see I left it open because whenever you have an envelope, you want space in there to put your item in. And I'm going to close this side. This side here, you could choose whichever side you want to be your open flap. And what you can do is put some tear tape on there. So when you're ready to mail this or give it away, you can just peel that tape off and fold it down. Or you could use glue dots on there to help hold it down too. And there's your envelope. And it would go with the card. I haven't finished yet. But see how easy that is? Let me show you again. This is what your envelope looks like. This is the one I've created to go with the card I made tonight. But I'd already scored it and everything. So I wanted to show you how to do that. So grab the right one and see how that'll fit in there real nice. And so I'll have an envelope to go with it. Let me show you the other envelopes that I made to go with the other cards. So I used the contour labels and just did a label like that. This one here, I actually messed up. And we always say accidents or opportunities to be more creative. I accidentally scored wrong. So I had a score line down there. So I just added some cardstock and then a strip of the DSP to add to that. So that one's ready. And then let me show you the last one I made. This one here, I did that same label again, but then I stamped some leaves and I added some ribbon. So this would be a card that I would hand deliver to somebody and not put in the mail. You definitely don't want the ribbon if you're going to put it in the mail. So I wanted to show you two more cards with this designer series paper. So I created this one here. I love these dies. There's thanks, you are amazing. I just think those are really cool. It does the shadowing for you. So I cut the DSP out. Let's see if you can tell. It's the little dot paper. And then I put that piece there, put paper inside with my greeting. That's one. And then I got this idea off the internet and I apologize to the lady that shared it. I forgot to write her name down. But isn't that pretty? And it was really simple. I used the bordering dies. Dana used that at our stamp camp. And the ladies asked me if I had it. And I actually told them no. And then I came home and looked, and wouldn't you know, I did have it. So I wanted to use it in a card. I'm trying to grab it here real quick, see if I can find it. They have some fun edges that you can use to provide some variety. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 6 maybe. Yep, 6 different ones. And I used this one here for this card. And then I pop that up. But isn't that cute? And then, you know me, I love that embossing folder with the heart. And so I used that again and then just covered the heart up. So those are my projects tonight. We've got envelopes. I'll post a picture of this card. I'm looking at the clock here and I try to keep it about 20 minutes. So I'll finish this card and I'll post a picture for you. I'm actually using black cardstock and then I'm using circle on this one. I stamped the bird and colored it and I'm going to put it with the blacks and the purples. I know you're all so shocked to see purple. Oh, Lois, thank you. Carol, glad to hear you watching. And Susan, Cindy's watching. Oh, that's a good idea, Fran. She says if you use the larger end of the stylus, it helps to not tear the DSP. So that's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so these cards and my twisted gatefold. I will not be on next Monday. I will be hanging out with Alden and Brandon and Shelby. We're really looking forward to our trip out there. Let's see if I can get this laid out here. There we go. This designer series paper is only available through next Monday. So if you haven't gotten your celebration order in, make sure you get that done. If your order's under 150, I'd appreciate it if you use that host code. Remember, every 50 you spend, you get a celebration item. And at this point, all of the merchandise, I believe, is still available. At least it was today when I was putting some orders in. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you the 1st of March. Wow, I can't believe that. First Monday in March at 7 o'clock. I'll see you for another episode or edition of Davita's Stamp and Spot. Have a great week.